Good evening, Facebook and friends, and all of you out there, YouTube and Instagram, and all of you social media network partners. Good evening. Welcome to Wednesday on Smart Black Woman TV with Charles and Vernita. Today, Ebony is not in the studio today, and so we're going to move on in our show tonight without her. And those of you who have been just waiting patiently for to speak with us, we were tuning in and getting some technical difficulties cleared up. Now we're here, and hopefully you enjoy tonight's show. So tonight we're going to be talking about a few things that are very important to us, and one of them is voting. We want to talk about how you vote. What do you do to prepare for voting? Now is the time that voting is coming very near for many of you. Small local voting has already taken place. And what do you do to prepare for those to get your voting candidates in? You don't wait till the last minute, do you? Do you wait to get to the ballot box and read about that person because you know nothing about that person in order for you to choose to decide to vote? These are things that you probably want to kind of address way before you get in that voting box. You want to do some homework. And Charles, what do you do to prepare?
And honestly, I like to lean on grandma, and she always tells me who to vote for. So, right, what am I going to do without my grandma? She definitely tells me to vote for. But for as far as the important things in the community, I kind of stay up on my current events. So, for the big ones, I know who to vote for on the big ones, but the small ones, it's kind of almost it's hard if you pay attention to everything going in politics, you'll know who to vote for when it comes to every single candidate. But I know today is the last day to register to vote here in Missouri. I'm not sure if that applies there as well. I know Texas too. It may be for everywhere.
Yeah, so you wait out. So today, the last day to register. You should already prepare yourself to
Right.
register to vote. Don't wait till the last minute and deadline to get your kids when they turn 18 to say, "Oh, today is the last day. Today, the last. We got to get you in there so you can vote." And you haven't even done any homework either. So you can't tell your child and walk your child through what's going on with this candidate that we have here that is campaigning on the streets and telling you, vote for me, vote for me. What are you doing to prepare for it? And as Charles said, he waited on grandma. And a lot of you at this age are waiting on grandma, mom, dad, and you're in a position right now, you got to take on these things on your own. You got to be familiar with your surrounding, your communities, your states, your Congress. We want to make sure everything is covered and who we vote for, the reason we're voting for them, what changes we feel very important about and making in our communities. One, the first impact, the line of impact is the community you live in. If you're concerned about how
Mhm.
your community is failing you, things going on in within your community, the streets are crowded. You got potholes in the streets that just continuously going that has been there. You're hitting that same pothole year after year after year, and you haven't voted. No need in you complain. Roll on through the pothole and keep going. Because until you get out here and start fighting against these things that you feel are impacting you, then say nothing, do nothing. That's how I look at it when it comes to
And
voting.
honestly,
So, and Charles, grandma, what is she doing to prepare for voting? Do you know what she's doing to prepare for voting? What is it that
the
some of the
commercials.
older adults do when it comes to voting? I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell you, and not that my mom, which is my mom is Charles' grandma, not that this is what she does, because my mother do follow politics. She follows them very closely, and she follow the people. But many people follow. I'm gonna vote for that black man. That black man in that seat, and he's campaigning. Oh, that's who I'm voting for, girl. I know who I'm voting for, and you know nothing about that person. Because and then later
Mm,
on, you hear all the trash talk about what that black person has done, even though you were like,
right.
oh, I'm voting for him because he's black. I'm voting for him because he's short. I'm voting for it because he works at the local grocery store. No, you can't just vote for people because you know them in that light. You want to vote for people because they are experienced in what they're campaigning for. If they're campaigning to better your cities, then that's the reason why you want to vote for him. If he's speaking on what is it? If he's speaking on building new homes in your community, making your communities greater, making the gas affordable in your neighborhoods, making well, that does come at a state level, of course, but these type of voting things you want to focus on, and you want to read about, you want to read about that person and what they are experienced in doing. You want to read way back and things that they have done. You want to run their record and make sure you have no surprises of something that he's doing that he shouldn't be doing, or he or she, because these are budgets. This money is coming out of your pockets. Every time you get paid, you are paying into those people holding that sign up, and that voting is going to be counted when you stamp, get in that that ballot box, and that money that's on the paper, pull out your check stub. See how much you're
Mm,
putting in there. You want the roads fixed? So if from your little income, there are many of you, add all of that money up. So in that budget, you want to make sure that that budget is allocated to the point of helping you to get rid of potholes and bad communities and things that are not taken care of, whether it be underground sewage, whether it be your garbage being taken out, whether all these different things, they impact you. So start doing homework. When you get out of high school and college and things like that, you still have studies to do. People always say, I'm not going back to school. You can go back to school. You need to stay in school because
oh,
right now we need to start voting and taking time out to vote and pay attention to what we're voting for. Look at those budgets. Once voting is it has ended and the budget is all lined up, you want to go and pull that city's budget. You want to look inside that budget and see how much money is allocated for the streets. The site demolition, what are they doing? Do they have a budget now they have increased on your behalf? Because these are things that you voted for, and many others had the same ideas that you did about handling your neighborhoods and communities and what need to be impacted in your communities. Look at those budgets. See how you can help within those budgets. There may be jobs that are within those budgets. Go after the city and ask them, did you find anyone to handle these streets and the potholes? I have a small business. These small business owners need to go to your cities if you're looking for work. See what it is that you have profession, you have what line of work and trades that you have been specialized in that can help the city in order to cover these budgets so that they're able to turn this in at the end of the year and get more funding to do more for the community. And then you can say, I put those concrete, I put that concrete there. I corrected those streets. Those are things that you want to do when it comes to voting. So take time out, study, do your homework. Make sure that when voting time comes, it's not only you starting to study when you get in the ballot box. By the time you get in the ballot box, you've already reviewed the ballot. You know who you're voting for. You can move fast. The lines will move fast too. And no one's just sitting there waiting on you to get out of the box. So let's make voting faster and important in your lives. And let's see
Absentee
how
voting
Charles
too.
is going to have voting from here on out.
Absentee voting as well. You can vote from your couch. Just mail your ballot in. That's
Yes.
a convenient way to do it as well. You won't have to worry about the lines, taking off from work and stuff like that. But I think back in 2008, a lot of people went out, showed out, and voted, mainly the African American community. But since then, I think we kind of lost the momentum, and a lot of people may feel like um, they don't have a voice and there's no point of voting, and but if you think about back when President Obama was elected, a lot of things changed when he went into office, like the healthcare reform for pre-existing conditions. That made a huge difference with
Mhm.
life and death for some people. Also the student loan forgiveness program. I think people are still being able to take advantage of having their student loans forgiven, and that was all because we showed up and voted. So I think yes, potholes are can be important because they may mess up your car and stuff like that. But healthcare and things that are affecting us every day, I mean, we can make a change in those areas as well. But it's just about showing up. And for me, hey, I may vote for the wrong person, but showing up is half the battle. Just show up, and even if you just bubble in anything, it's better to show up and vote for the wrong person than to just not show up at all.
Oh, okay. Okay. Voting for the wrong person.
What happened?
I might kick back on that one. But yeah,
What?
voting is important. And we all need to make
Yeah,
sure that we are making good decisions when it comes to voting. The best decisions, I should say. So read the ballots, and as Charles said, I don't think he much meant. I don't think he much too much meant the voting for the wrong person, but really pretty much showing up at the polls and making sure you vote. So if you get in the ballot, if you do
right.
get in that ballot box and you do read, you're using your conscious decision and the best decision to your knowledge at that point to vote, and that's the best thing you can do when it comes to voting. And
Mom, since
we
we're talking about politics, since we're talking about politics, what earlier this week, Kanye West, he what do you think about the T-shirts that he came out with, the White Lives Matter T-shirts? How do you feel about that?
You know what? I've always liked Kanye West, and I still do. I Everybody has their own opinion and how they feel about doing anything they must do. They tend to do.
Hmm.
White lives does matter as well as black,
They do.
Hispanic, and any other race. So him putting a shirt on that say white lives matter, it didn't move me at all because it does. That's his opinion of how that's the shirt he wanted to wear for today, and he wore it. There's some shirts out there I have this sickening to see, but nobody is speaking on those t-shirts. Nobody is speaking on shirts that they
Hmm.
really see that are really blunt out there. Kanye being in the being a celebrity, the celebrity that he is, and he tends to make a point, his point in certain ways. People usually just comment or have their own opinion about Kanye, and it continues to go on in that way. Kanye does some weird
Right.
things, and so does a lot of other people. It may not be to your
Right.
liking or understanding, and I think it's best people get understanding about the reasons why he do things a certain way before they prejudge him and for his reasons of
Right.
his internal reasons, his opinion about doing it. So as in anyone else, having an opinion about doing whatever they want to do in their lives. People have their own lives. You cannot control and have so many opinions about what a person does and slander them while doing it. The difference is slandering the guy because he wore White Lives Matter on his shirt. Kanye married I don't know Kim's race. His children are mixed children, and he wore a shirt that said "White Lives Matter." Maybe he wore it because he wanted to. He wanted to put it on there. He knew he'd get
Right.
attention. I think Kanye more so when he does certain things because he gets that attention, and he got it. He got the attention from
Right. Right.
everyone that made their comment, whether it be negative or positive. He set out to do what it was he was wanting to do, whether it be attention, whether it be for people to dislike him. I wouldn't think that, but he did what he wanted to do, and so do we. We do what we want to do, and
But
but how did you feel
welcome to the
today,
Twitter
boss?
family, Kanye.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Twitter family, Kanye, because they blocked him on Instagram and Facebook. So welcome to the Twitter family. On over to Twitter, welcome you with welcome arms, where you can speak your mind and you have your freedom of speech there. You know,
I didn't think
so
they
that's
should
that comes falls
block
back
him for
down
that.
to
Why would they block him for that?
right. Made a few comments that and they ended up blocking him for speaking some of the things that he spoke. So the only area that he's able to avoid that is right now is on Twitter. So
Mm.
right, he's
Well, I
posting
hate to
on
hear
Twitter
that.
because he's on Facebook and
Well, I hate to hear that they blocked him.
yeah,
Everybody has their opinion. They never did block somebody that was big in the world of speaking out and saying really nasty things and said they never blocked him, but they want to block Kanye
right,
for his comments. I don't think
right,
when people make comments, if he haven't um, verbally offended anyone, I don't think they should have blocked him. I haven't seen his comments. I will go back and look and see what he did say, but I don't think he should be blocked for speaking out. From what he did, he wore his White Lives Matter shirt. So he may have said something off the wall.
right,
I don't know what it is. I do have to go back and do my research, to see what it was. But that's his opinion. And that's what he felt about it. Many people have it. I think Facebook is getting very deep when it comes to opinions and how people speak and say things. And before they even get an answer from you, they'll block you. And I was one of those that was
right,
blocked. I was blocked for reasons of something very simple that I said. I didn't offend anyone. It was a comment that I made. Someone blocked me because they didn't like my comment, the comment. There was nothing to not directed at that person at all. But just because I had my opinion, and I was blocked by Facebook a number of times, and I think it was very unfair by Facebook. I think people should have a time to explain the reason why they said something. If Facebook want to get that deep into the communication of having a social network like this one, people should be able to tell their side of what they spoke about, or even that person that's blocking. Are you asking that person, why did you block this person? And that person should be able to explain
mhm,
why. Facebook, if you're going to make a decision to block someone, maybe you need to block the person that's trying to be the blocker. Block the blocker, because sometimes the blocker is wrong, and
what she
blocking.
said was
Yes, And Kanye and
Yeah.
sometimes and I'm wondering, as I say that, I haven't done any research on Kanye. I will do that, but I'm wondering because people don't like Kanye because of his opinions and what he have to speak about and how he can get very erratic in certain times. People don't like him. They don't like him. The guy does what he does. He make his money. He's very talented, and a lot of people just within don't like him because he's a black guy that was dating Kim. There are many people just didn't like him because he was dating Kim, and he was married to her, and he has all of her children, and people don't like him for that reason. And for that reason,
and,
they'll block you.
and I think and I think it's annoying when whenever you see someone kind of lash out, people try to attack a person's mental health. And I think that, how some things are like off, should be off, what's the word I'm looking for? Off the record, or not off record, off
Mm.
boundaries. Off
Yeah,
boundaries. Some
yeah.
like the children, you don't talk about someone's children and things. I feel like
Hmm.
mental health is one of those things that you just shouldn't kind of pick at when it comes to someone that may be battling a mental issue or not, but that's not anyone's place to kind of tell someone you need to get some help, mental help, or oh, he's
Hmm.
having an episode again. I think it's like the worst things that you can say to a person.
Yeah, I just think when it comes to speaking on mental health, and we tend to go, tend to talk about it quite often. When it comes to mental health, I think it's getting to the point where when a person learn a line of words to speak, but not understanding what mental health really is. There are a lot of people
Hmm.
that do not have mental health issues, but have behavioral health issues. And behavior issues are not mental health. Mental is when you can't really control it. Behavior is physical and you can control these things. Mental health people, they're always mental. It's not temporarily. They go through this. And then behavioral health, because a person is acting out in anger,
Acting out.
it's their behavior.
It's their behavior.
And people look at a lot of those issues as being mental health, everything mental, and everything is not mental health. It's behaviors, and it's behaviors of those ones too. The same person that makes those comments and offend others and saying that they have mental health issues. Now it's that person's behavior. Why is your behavior so off guard that you don't understand that people are who they are? They're going to have their own opinions about things. You don't have to always speak out on everything. Everything is not your fight and your battle, and allow people to have their own
Right.
lives. And saying that we have another segment that we were going to talk about, and it's about the kids. The kids are the ones who are mostly impacted because when you become an adult, you put away a lot of things. But when you're a child, you're learning. So all of this when you think about a computer and how you put all that information in it, and what type of information are you putting in it? Are you putting positive information in it, or is it? Are there a lot of typos? And I'm saying that to
You know,
say
Hmm.
children and what you say to children is very important. One thing I really have an issue with are children that are uh, uh, that are from broken homes. And when I say broken homes, broken parenting. When there are co-parenting going on, there are a lot of issues there, and the children are the ones who are most impacted because parents don't understand that everything you say to that child against that other parent, whether you like that parent or not, it bothers that child. Whether that parent is not doing well, whether that parent has issues of drug abuse, whether that parent is homeless, It does not matter because you're doing okay at the time you're doing okay and your child is with you, you're impacting that child's life. And Charles, you and I spoke about that, and there's some very important that we tend to speak about because we hear it a whole lot when it comes to co-parenting children and how one parent will speak down on the other parent or vice versa, the mother or the father, and it impacts the children. So we tend to see it a lot. We see how the children grow up angry because I don't
Mhm.
care what your parent is, that child loves that parent. And you and I talking
Right.
about that, today because it's very important. And what were you saying about that yourself?
I was speaking about something that's a lot of things cause trauma, especially when it comes to co-parenting. It causes trauma for the kid as well. Mainly. Um, Even when I was reading a book and they were saying that even though young child is, the harder the trauma is for the child, the harder it will be for them to get over what issue it is. And even introducing your child into, for example, a new partner, a new boyfriend or girlfriend, that's traumatic for a child, and that creates trauma in their life, you know. But it made it earlier we spoke about, I mentioned to you 50 Cent's son. um, Online, he said that he would trade in $6,700, which was his monthly child support,
Hmm.
for 24 hours with his dad. He would tell his dad, here's the money, you can take the money back, 24 hours with me. And I thought about a lot of different things when I heard that. Of course, I thought about, wow, he should hang out with his child more often. Of course, you automatically think that, but if
Yeah.
you think deeper, it kind of you wonder where did that start? It kind of started. It has to start from somewhere,
Hmm.
where a child feels like whatever he's getting from his parent isn't enough. And anything, if I got $1 every month, hey, I'd feel like, okay, I'm different. I'm built different. I'm like, okay, he gave me another dollar. What I'm going to do with $1? But you took the time out to give me that money. You took time out for me. So that parent is still taking time with the child, no matter if $1 or $1 million, he's taking time out for you. But it made me also think about what did that child's mother instill into him to make him feel this way, make him feel like, oh, my dad's not there for me, even though he's giving you $7,000 a month. That
Hmm.
doesn't qualify for your father's not there for you. You know
Hmm.
what I'm saying? It just
Yeah.
doesn't. So it made me just think about, where did that originate? That had to start from somewhere, and a lot of times it starts from the mothers,
Hmm.
unfortunately. And the mothers, they instill some things in the children and give them a sour taste in their mouth, so they grow up angry at the father when the father may have been there for the child or tried to be there for the child. They just didn't know about it.
Hmm. Exactly. Exactly. And that's huge in a child's life, because and parent as it said in the Bible, honor thy mother and thy father, and your days will be long. The word didn't say honor thy mother and your days are going to be long, because you're there and you're honoring your mother. You also owe it to your father as well. And mothers
Mhm.
need to
Mhm.
preach that in their homes, and fathers too, because there are children that are being raised by their fathers. I know a few friends of mine that
Mhm.
has their children and they're raising their children. But also in raising your children, you still owe it to that other parent that their child is not only your child, that child has another parent, and you have to release that child to that parent best way you can. Communication and how you
Mhm.
speak to a child is very important. When a child is it's asking you, where's my daddy, where's my daddy, the answer is not, oh, he's something negative. I just won't say anything
Right.
in that tone, but something negative is not to tell that child, because that parent deserves half and half. of communication when it comes to the relationship of the child and the parent. Period. It's half and half when it comes to monetary, taking care of a child and whatever has to go on.
Every
It
child
is that parent's responsibility, and that parent's responsibility is to do what he has to do in God's eyes to take care of his child. It's not the mother or the father to judge that. The children need to be treated equally, and they need to be spoken to in a way that they're not having all these angers inside of them and feeling bad against the other parent, because had a parent always been supportive regardless of what. When I raised Charles, I never was a parent that felt like if he didn't do or if he didn't have, then Charles was not seeing his dad. No, 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 he's yours too. You get him half, you get him. You go. You don't have to. I'm doing well. I took care of Charles well. I didn't need to ask for additional monies for Charles. I was able to take care of my child, and a lot of women are, and men too. You're in positions to take care of your children, and if you're not, that's why there are adopted parents out there too. Parents do have situations where they go through and they give their child up for adoption. That doesn't mean that parent didn't love their child. They gave the child up for adoption later on, 20 years later. They want to meet their children. They always loved them. They always thought about them every day because they're their children. Allow parents to have that relationship. I just think it's very bad that the court system has taken on families when people has
Mhm.
when the court system is not in your household before you're sleeping with people. So therefore, you should never bring the court in your house. You should handle that
Mhm.
should be handled
Mhm.
between the two parents. And the only thing the court
Right.
system should say to every parent, if that child is not is if the child is safe and that it's not having safety issues that's going on with the child, I don't think parents need to get involved. There are a lot of jealous parents out
Mhm.
there don't want the child to see the other parent. Women has gotten with men that
Mhm.
don't like the other man, just jealous of them, just because they had been with them and had children with them. Women, sometimes
Mhm.
are upset with men because the man has gotten with another woman and won't let the child go over to see the
Right.
fathers. I think these are things that need to be eliminated out of homes so that children can equally be developed, can have a chance, a fair chance at their decision making. And that's something that shouldn't be a thought in a child's mind is their father and what the father or mother has not done for them. Financially, is the parents' responsibility. It's
the
not
parent
children's business
is not
that
you.
dad didn't do anything or dad didn't pay enough. There are households with two parents in them, and there are sometimes one parent that's covering a whole household. Children don't need to know that. That's not their business. They don't know it. A lot of children don't know that business at home. Why should they know it when dad or mom is lacking income or monies to help to take care of the
Right.
child when you're doing well enough to take care of their child and continue their child being happy. The
Mhm.
and remember that video about the parent bought the McDonald's for the children or what have you. That became a big
Yeah, I
deal,
remember.
and and I'm sure that child that's in the middle of that is impacted, and that's the sad thing about it. That the kids are the ones that still trying to develop and have to try to balance the way they feel, when it comes to other people and the dads and the moms. When they see their friends with dads and moms, and having, relationships when they do see a two parenting relationships around them. But yet they go home and then mom, oh, your dad, he don't do anything, or he's this, he's that. But what about the kind, loving words you give them when you say, I love you? I love you. When you say, I love you, you tell that child you love them. You give them love. You speak to them with love. And that's when a child does not have to worry about all those ill feelings, in their development.
Mhm.
Yeah. So,
Mhm.
Charles, we talk about a lot of different things, especially when it comes to children, because
Yeah.
the kids are the ones right now. The parents have had their times. Now it's all about the kids.
Right. Right.
Hmm.
Right. And I always say I used to like the slogan "Trick love the kids," and I try to say Charles love the kids, and I'll do anything for a child, to try to help them because you never know what they're dealing with at home. I think children they go through things that we didn't even have to go through as children. That
Hmm.
sometimes we still don't have to go through it as adults. And
Right.
children are going through it today. So whenever
Hmm.
there's an opportunity to help out a child, I always do so. And I always felt like all my knowledge, you don't want to hold on to the knowledge that you get over the years. It's important to pass it down to someone else, or you lose it. If you don't keep it going, you kind of lose it. So just pass
Hmm.
that mental wealth down to the kids because that's what matters most.
Yeah. Exactly.
And I
And
try not to say that. I try not to say that adults had their turn. Like you can't teach an old dog new tricks. I'm not gonna say that one, but I just think that if we kind of put all our focus on the children these days, we'll see a big change.
yes, yes, because a lot of these kids are angry, and you don't know why they're going through so many emotional issues right now. A lot of
Mhm.
suicides are happening between the age of what they said 12 and 16, 18, something like that. The highest suicide rate is happening now, and it's because of these children. They're just giving up. They're giving up on I guess the communications that they're having in their lives, and it's majority of the time it starts at home. A lot of these things starts at home, and whatever is going on inside of these houses, people need to start focusing and paying a little bit more attention, and try to do as much as they can to try to help their children to go out in the world and a, be a better person. So we need that. We really need to make change in a lot of things that's going on. Once change is made at home, I'm sure once they go outside, you'll see those changes. They have to go to schools. Teachers have to deal with them because they're having these behavioral issues, and teachers shouldn't have to deal with so
Mhm.
much of that. We have
Mhm.
to start to buckle down in our houses and make sure that our communication as adults, we're doing the best that we can. We have to be the A students from our households, in order to help our children to be A
Mhm.
students at school. Yeah, that's
Mhm.
something that we really go
Absolutely.
through. Yeah, so just talking to a lot of you to make sure that, if you have any questions, you're
You have
more
any
than
questions?
welcome to come into the studio and engage, share our videos. We're going to continue to address all these different issues that are going on today to try to help the communities where we live, and to vote and do as much
Mhm.
as we can around us. That's the only thing that's going to make change for us. We always have someone looking at us, want to wear our clothes, want to talk the way we talk, want to dance the way we dance. It's always been that way. As long as has
Mhm.
existed, there are people looking at us. How are we looking from their standpoint? So we want to do things that we want people to understand that we are very intelligent people. You like us because of who we are. We smile, we're happy people, and we try to make the world around us as happy as we are. We try to get a lot of understanding. And as Kanye did say, white lives matter and black lives do too. Everybody's life matter,
Mhm.
especially in God's eyes. We're
Mhm.
all child of God, Many of us still exist. Your life matter too. You don't have to believe in God. I didn't say everybody jump on the wagon and believe in God. There are people that don't believe in God, but your life matters too. So all the hatred that's going on, all the rhetoric, all the backlash, all these opinions needs to get back. We don't need that. We need as much love in this country as we can possibly pour out so that we all can walk a better life and feel good as we walk outside, as we go to work, as we drive around. It's so much chaos going on. We do have to have a better sense of life. A lot of us say we're happy. A lot of us say we're living our best lives. A lot of people are in their own little circles. But right now, their circle has to go from one circle to the next. We have to love one another.
Mm,
Yes.
I agree.
And yes, we have to because it's a lot going on. And all these opinions and these negative opinions don't help us a bit. We just have to try to get everybody on the bandwagon where we are. Because as long as we can get
The
you
Be Kind
there,
challenge.
yes, yeah, that's what we need. The Be Kind Challenge.
But-
Let's start the Be Kind
Right.
Challenge. Kanye, we
Right.
on a
And the
mission.
small act of kindness can save
Right.
somebody's life. The-
Debrat, Ricky Smiley, Steve Harvey, Cedric the Entertainer, all of
the
us.
whole
LeBron,
list.
that's right. All of
Yeah.
you celebrities. You got the biggest platform. It can start from you. Let's start the Be Kind Challenge.
Hmm.
We need to get people to be
So,
kind.
Mom, who'd you challenge, Mom? You called out some names. You called out some
Yeah.
names. Who'd you call out?
Kim,
You challenged
Kim
them. You challenged who?
Kardashian. Kim Kardashian.
Puff Daddy,
I'm calling the Kardashians too.
Kanye,
Kanye, Puff
everybody.
Daddy. I'm calling you all out. I'm calling
Snoop
Kate Jenner.
Dogg.
Yes, I'm calling you all out. Nobody is excluded from the kind challenge. Nobody.
Yes, be kind,
Okay.
be kind. It can save somebody's
Oh,
life, you know.
yes, yes. So we have to do something. We have to move forward on some positive things in life, and everyone has to try to join in and be as positive because life is better and can be.
Hmm.
Hmm. Yeah. So we started late today,
Mom,
but
I
I
wanted to tell you that you look good today.
well, thank you very much, son. And you're looking mighty
You're
handsome
welcome. You're welcome.
yourself.
Thank
Yes,
you,
yes.
thank you, thank you.
Uh-huh. Tell us about your week. How your week been going?
A good week. You know, the work has been slow this week, but I just signed up for a new membership. You know, I've been working. I love working out outdoors. I prefer to work out outside. That's my thing. But I'm
Yeah.
gonna give the gym a shot. You know, with it's getting cold outside, and on the rainy days, I miss my cardio. So I signed up for a gym membership, and I'm gonna see how that goes. About that,
Nice.
I wrapped up a project that I was working on at home. I
Mm,
was resurfacing the kitchen cabinets, and I finally wrapped that up. So just
nice.
a few things around the house, still getting and looking forward to the weekend, and also next week, Greg's graduation. I'm looking forward to that too. I'm so proud of him.
Yes.
My little brother's graduating from so
Yes.
yeah, we always
Yes,
never a
indeed.
dull moment over here.
That's right. And you know what? I have been going through my pescatarian challenge. I will be on the
Yeah.
15th, a month end. I've stuck to it. I'm hungry now. I think I stay hungry. I do eat. I stuck to this diet. I haven't. I'm eating only fish, a lot of salads, not much pasta, but I get quite a bit of pasta in there. A lot of greens, a lot of green juices. But I tend to stay hungry, so I've been adding a lot of nuts to my diet to kind of fill in the blank. I try not to eat much bread.
Mhm.
I'm not too crazy about bread anyway. So, bread is a big filler in any meal, but I don't eat a lot of bread. I never did. So I am hungry. I'm hungry right now. After I eat, I'm going to be hungry again. So this pescatarian diet has been a real challenge. If you guys want to go join me on this pescatarian diet, yes, I have lost some weight. I feel lighter on my feet. Yes, I do. I don't want to get too small. I don't want to get malnourished. I want to continue to read about the pescatarian diet. There are a lot of other things that I've tried doing this diet. A lot of things have been good. I've tried a lot of vegan foods. I've tried the impossible meats. Some of those meats have been great. I can say I had a impossible sausage the other day. It tastes okay. I think I liked it.
Mhm.
What else? What else have I
Do you like
had?
the almond milk?
I don't drink milk, and it's been very hard for me to try the almond milk because I
Mm.
do not drink milk at all. I do eat ice cream, but I do not drink milk. I'm going to try I don't know if I'm going to try the almond milk.
Try
Yes,
it. It's not bad.
I'll try it. I'll try it.
See, I use it for my coffee mainly, for my creamer,
Yeah.
almond creamer.
No, okay.
Yeah.
I'm a coffee creamer person. Yeah, I'm a coffee creamer person. I have my
Mhm.
1/2 cup coffee every morning. That's it.
Right.
And I've been doing great with this diet. It's been pretty good. It has been good to me as far as how I've been feeling. I have had a little challenges in the last few days of my stomach hurting, right up in here. So I think I'm going through the digestive part of this diet. So I have to kind of try to control it a little bit more. Anybody have any tips for me? Let me have it because I need it and I want to be full. I know I'm not going to be full as I do in the food that I was eating because I was eating very well every day. So now, even though I thought that some of that food was expensive, having a diet like this one is very expensive. So if you want to have a pescatarian diet, be ready to pay the cost for it because
Mhm.
it's too affordable. It can get very challenging with some of the meals. And yeah, I do have $20 meals, pretty much $20 a day meals. And I'm still
Right.
hungry. And I'm still hungry. If this will be my 90 days in this diet, I'm going to have a conversation with you guys to let you know if I'm going to continue to move on with a pescatarian diet. One thing I may do is add slowly a chicken onto my diet because I love chicken. And
Yeah.
I still do. That will be my start of getting back into eating meat if at that point I decide to eat meat again. So, in saying that,
Hmm.
you guys, if dieting is something that you need for your health, if you're overweight and trying to lose weight, pescatarian diet is a great diet you can start on. Eating fish every day can be a challenge. I do change up from tuna and then the fish and the tuna and the fish. So these fishes, they're good for you. You can get a bit tired of them. I do have a fish fillet. I do have a grills one time, every now and then. And I eat more grilled meat than I do eat a fried fillets. So the fried fillets, I tend to have it very seldom, probably once a week, and it's good. The fried fish,
But
it
mom,
tends to not. Hmm. Yeah, Charles,
I
you
think
were
you,
saying.
with you being down in Florida, I think it's the perfect opportunity for you to try different fish. Different kinds of fish. I know that's what I did. I got into different kinds of fish. Every fish give you a different vibe because
Hmm.
fish from them when you're fishing in the sea, they can eat different things. Some fish eat crabs, some fish eat other fish, so it'll give you a different taste. And that's how I made it fun, so that way it didn't seem like I was eating the same thing every day.
I do. I have had quite a few fishes lately. I eat a lot of salmon because I really love salmon. That's my favorite one. I have the grouper, and I've had the yellowtail.
Mm.
I've also had the
Oh, big.
what did she say?
Read
She
that
said
comment.
something. She said something. I eat a lot of the
Oh my
seafood. And one that I really like, the best that I eat food is so okay, we have our prankster that came through, Dorothy Johnson. This is our prankster that is here. And look like I'm getting a call from my friend Anita that's coming in. Anita, I'm gonna give you a call right back. Okay. Okay.
God. That's so
And
funny.
also a lot of seafood and one fish. I do want to say that I didn't. I've always bought this fish frozen, which was a cod. A fresh cod is a very good fish. I really like that. So if none of you have had fresh cod, try it. It's more expensive than salmon and other fishes. It's about
It
$22
is.
down here. It's expensive, and I didn't know how expensive cod to be. But cod is very great. It
Right.
is. It's really good, and I really like it. Have you had it, Charles? The fresh cod?
I have at different like restaurants, little Irish pubs, but I've never made cod myself at home.
Mhm. Yeah, over the weekend I had I fixed I think it was with my cod. I fixed it with rice and like a tomato base with some little chilies in it and some cilantro, and you
Mm.
kind of make it and you mix it up real good, cook it real good, and you put it over a rice. That's how I eat I eat it,
That's
and
how
it's really good. So the rice is very filling, So I get that rice that I don't eat much rice right now because I know how rice can do me because I'll swell up and I don't
It
want to get
sounds
swelled.
like a chop chop.
Yeah, a trap chop. Yeah, and then you know what?
Yeah.
And then what else I put in it? And then I put lima beans in it. That was
Mm.
really good. And then
I love beans. Ooh.
another meal that I had, I cooked some collard greens and I put some lima beans in them. So I am cooking a little bit more because I'm trying a whole lot of different things with food, doing good at it, and so it's tasty. I'm still hungry, but it's tasty. It's very tasty. So, but let me get offline. Um, so we have the prankster that's in the house that came in again. She said, "Don't swallow your food." So she said, and I think this was a tip to people who want to lose weight. She's saying, don't swallow the food, spit it out, and you'll start to lose weight. So a lot of people, you go to a lot of these fancy restaurants. I know it'd be very difficult for you to go out and spit food out, but that is her take on losing weight. My mother has lost probably 100 pounds. How much, mom? No, probably about 50, 60 pounds.
More than like
Okay,
125. About
50,
125.
125 pounds she's lost, and that is the way she
Yeah.
lost the weight. She spit the food out. She would eat it. She would eat all the meals, but she would spit it out, and she's lost all of this weight. So I am putting it out there. I'm sorry. She tastes everything she wanted to taste, but she spit it out. She didn't swallow it, and she lost a lot of weight. That is a big one. I would like to see the spit it out challenge start and see how that works out for you.
No,
Anyway,
no, don't start that.
with that being said, we're going to end this show with another day of laughter and love. Tune in, share our videos, continue to engage. Let us know how you feel. Even talking about voting, who are you going to vote for that's in your community? What are they doing? What have they done?
Votes.
Why are you re-voting for them again? Did you see differences in your community that you like? Do that. Give us a holla. Just send us out text, or you can also comment on the lines of the videos, and we will communicate with you and engage. Thank you so much for joining in this evening. We will continue to see you another day on Wednesday, 7 o'clock p.m. Smart Black Woman TV on what, Charles?
NPNTv.
NPNTv. We're on NPNTV. Why don't you be? Bye.
Bye.
We're
November
shining
8th, go
bright. And we're shining the light on us like no other. Neighborhood Planet. Our neighborhood, our world. This program was made possible by Neighborhood Planet Broadcasting Systems, Neighborhood Planet Network, and from contributions to NPNTv from viewers like you.